Hello and welcome. You are listening to Pint Size Therapy, where we explore all things related to mental health healing, personal growth and development, emotional wellness, and the human experience in pint-sized bites. I am your host, Dr. Aletha Clark, a licensed psychotherapist, certified hypnotherapist, and master addiction counselor, and I am happy to have you here with me today as you embark on your mental wellness journey. While I appreciate you tuning in, don't forget this podcast is informational only and is not a substitute for seeking out your own mental health counseling with a licensed professional. So join me as we jump into today's episode. Hello and welcome back, everyone. As we close our National Recovery Month, I want to take a moment to speak not just to those in recovery themselves, but to the people who love them, the partners, the parents, siblings, friends. This episode is for you. Because while recovery is about the person struggling with a substance use disorder, it's also about the people who walk alongside them. Those of you who have worried, cried, lost sleep, set boundaries, and sometimes even had to walk away. This year's theme of recovery is real, restoring every aspect of life, and part of that restoring life is recognizing that loved ones need healing too. If you love someone struggling with addiction, you've probably been on what feels like a never-ending roller coaster of emotions. The fear when you are lying awake at night, wondering if they're safe, if they'll overdose, if the phone will ring with bad news. The frustration and anger because you've begged, pleaded, and bargained, and yet the cycle continues. The disappointment when they relapse and you feel that drop in your stomach like the air has been knocked out of you. And the grief, because in many ways, addiction is a living loss. You miss the person you know they can be, even while they're standing right in front of you. And then there's exhaustion from carrying a burden that feels too heavy, from trying to fix something that isn't in your control. And let me say, every one of those feelings is valid. You don't need to apologize for being angry, tired, or sad. These feelings are normal and to be expected when loving someone in addiction because it's messy, it's complicated, and it's deeply human. These feelings are also incongruent and conflictual at times. You feel hopeful and excited when you get glimpses of who that person was before they started using. You start believing that this can be it, that they got it this time around. But then you are faced with a relapse. When someone you love starts using again after a period of recovery, it can feel devastating. You ride that wave of hope. Maybe this time it'll stick, only to feel crushed when it doesn't. And unfortunately, the heartbreak of relapse can feel like an out-of-control merry-go-round, and you cannot get off of it. It is the cycle of hope, the setback, the rebuilding of trust, around and around. And even though we know relapse does not erase progress, it does not mean your loved one can't recover. It does feel like a letdown, though. It does impact you deeply. It does take a toll on you. And it's okay to name that toll. It's okay to admit that every relapse chips away at your trust and your hope. That honesty doesn't make you less loving. It makes you human. And here's the part that can feel the hardest. Protecting yourself. Setting boundaries. Practicing what Al-Anon calls detachment with love. Detachment with love is an Al-Anon concept that helps family members and loved ones care for themselves while still caring about the person with the substance use disorder. It means separating the person from the disease. You recognize that the harmful behavior you see are driven by addiction, not the true core of your loved one. It's about releasing responsibility for fixing them. You stop carrying the weight of trying to control or even cure their addiction. It's about setting boundaries without bitterness. You can say no to behaviors that harm you, not out of anger, but out of self-preservation. And it's about continuing to love, but letting go of enabling. You can still wish them well, pray for them, or support their recovery efforts while refusing to cover up, rescue, or shield them from consequences. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you abandon the person. It means you create enough space so their choices don't destroy you. It means you allow them to experience the natural consequences of their actions rather than rescuing them every time. Sometimes protecting yourself means saying no to lending money. Sometimes it means not answering every call in the middle of the night, choosing to leave a situation where substances are being used, allowing natural consequences like legal trouble or job loss instead of stepping in to fix it. Taking the time for your own therapy, your own meetings or self-care without any guilt. And holding compassion for the person while firmly refusing behaviors that put you at risk. And sometimes it means stepping back or even walking away when their addiction puts your safety, your sanity, or your well-being at risk. And why it's important? Well, detachment with love allows family members and loved ones to protect their own mental, emotional, and sometimes physical safety. It avoids enabling behaviors that unintentionally prolong addiction. It preserves the possibility of healthier relationships in the future. And it restores their own sense of peace, even in the midst of chaos. It's never easy, but boundaries are not rejection. Boundaries are survival. One of the most powerful concepts from Al-Anon is the 3 C's. Many loved ones carry guilt and responsibility for the addiction of someone they love. The 3 C's offer a way to release that burden. I didn't cause it. I can't control it. I can't cure it. But I can choose to love you without letting your disease control me. So let's kind of break this down. You didn't cause it. Addiction is not your fault. It's not because of something you said, didn't say, did, or didn't do. Substance use disorders are complex. They're shaped by genetics, environment, trauma, and mental health, but not caused by you. You can't control it. You cannot make someone stop using. You can't control their choices, no matter how much you love them. No matter how much you beg, bargain, or threaten, you cannot control another person's choices. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means you recognize the limits of your power. And you can't cure it. Recovery is possible, but it's not something you can do for them. Healing comes through treatment, community, and the individual's own willingness. Instead of carrying the weight of the 3 C's, Al-Anon encourages loved ones to shift focus towards what is in their control. They can control setting boundaries, practicing self-care, finding support from themselves, or even choosing compassion without enabling. I want you to repeat this to yourself as a daily reminder. You didn't cause it. You can't control it, and you can't cure it. But you can love, you can let go of guilt, and you can care for yourself in the process. So how do you cope when you love someone in addiction? You find support for yourself. That might be Al-Anon or Nar-Anon, therapy, or a peer group. It might be journaling your feelings instead of bottling them up. It might be building self-care routines, making sure you eat and rest and nurture your own joy. It might mean finding a trusted friend or mentor who listens without judgment, or learning skills like grounding, mindfulness, and self-compassion to carry you through the hardest days. Addiction doesn't just impact the substance user. It impacts the loved ones as well. And loved ones need recovery too, not from substances, but from the fear, stress, and trauma of living alongside addiction. Even with all the pain, I want to leave you with hope. Recovery is possible. People do change. Families heal, and boundaries, support, and compassion, even when it feels like they go unnoticed, they make a difference. Hope doesn't mean ignoring reality. Hope means believing that change is possible while facing reality with clear eyes and a steady heart. Your compassion matters. Your boundaries matter, and your healing matters. So as we close this episode and we close out Recovery Month, remember that you can love someone deeply and still protect yourself. Your feelings are valid, your safety matters, and recovery for your loved one and for you, it's real. Take care of yourself, and remember, you are not alone. As always, thank you for joining me today on Pint-Sized Therapy. If you found this conversation meaningful, I invite you to leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and share with your family and friends. Come visit my website at pintsizedtherapy.com and my Etsy shop at pintsizedtherapy.etsy.com, where you will find resources to accompany our various discussions and encourage you to continue your wellness journey. Once again, I am Dr. Aletha Clark. Until next time, remember to protect your peace and take care of your mental health.